We live in this world of tech, right? Our phones, the cloud, it's just everywhere. But have you ever really stopped to think about how it all actually works together? That's what we're going to do today. We're going to peel back the curtain and see what's really powering our digital lives. And it all kicks off with one big question.
It sounds like a simple question, but trust me, the answer is pretty mind-blowing. See, before you can stream a movie or even just send a quick text, that digital stuff, it has to live somewhere, like in a real, physical place. So, where is it?
Okay, so it all starts right here, with the foundation. We're talking about the actual, physical beginning of everything digital. These enormous, windowless buildings you've probably driven by without a second thought. They're called data centers.
Yep, that's exactly what they are. You can almost think of them as the invisible powerhouses, the real backbone of this whole digital revolution. Seriously, nothing, and I mean nothing, happens online without them. No Netflix, no emails, nothing. They're doing all the hard work in the background.
And when we say colossal, we are not kidding. It's the perfect word. A data center isn't just a big room with some computers. No way. We're talking about massive, sprawling facilities, sometimes as big as a whole bunch of football fields, just packed to the gills with all the gear that keeps the internet running.
So what's actually in these places? Well, at the heart of it, you've got servers, just racks and racks of powerful computers that hold all our data. And on top of those, you have virtual servers, which are basically software pretending to be more computers. And then, of course, all the networking equipment, the switches and routers that let all that data talk to each other. All right, so we've got these incredible powerhouses, but they're no good on their own, right? They can't just be a bunch of isolated islands. The next piece of this giant puzzle is, how do we connect them all? And more importantly, how do we connect us to them? And this is where it gets really cool. Think about it this way. If a data center is like a city's power plant, then communication tech is the entire electrical grid that connects every single house. It's this incredible global web of undersea cables and orbiting satellites that ties all those digital islands together.
And you got to understand, this isn't just about one specific gadget. It's the whole shebang. All the tools, all the systems, the entire process that lets us shoot information from point A to point B. Doesn't matter if it's across the room or literally to the other side of the planet.
So how does this information actually flow? Well, it boils down to 3 basic steps. First, you transmit the data. That's you hitting send on your phone. Then it gets received somewhere else, maybe on a server thousands of miles away. And finally, the magic part. It's exchanged. That's the back and forth, the conversation that makes the internet feel alive. And at the end of the day, that's why this is so huge. This global network makes everything possible. From a quick call to your friend to a huge corporation running its business across continents. It's really the connective tissue of our modern world. Okay, let's recap. We have the buildings, the data centers, we have the network connecting them all together, but what's next? What do we do with all this data flowing around? We need some kind of intelligence, a brain to actually make sense of it all.
And that's where AI, artificial intelligence, steps onto the stage. It's basically the brain of the whole operation. It sits on top of all that hardware and networking, and its whole purpose is to create machines that can think, that can learn, and that can make decisions all by themselves.
Now hold on, because this is a super important point people get mixed up all the time. AI and robotics, they're not the same thing. Think of it like this. AI is the brain, it's the smarts, the part that processes information and decides what to do. Robotics, that's the body. It's the physical machine that takes the brain's orders and actually does something in the real world.
And when you put those two together, the goal is, well, it's huge. The whole point is to build machines that can operate autonomously. They can look at a situation, figure out what needs to be done, and then just do it, with pretty much zero human intervention.
But here's the thing. This amazing system we've built, all this power, all this connectivity, all this intelligence, it doesn't just magically appear. It comes at a cost. It has a massive environmental footprint, and that's creating a whole new challenge for us.
I mean, just think about it for a second. All those data centers are guzzling insane amounts of electricity, not just to run the servers, but to keep them from melting. Building all those networks uses up real, physical resources. It all adds up to a very real and growing impact on the planet.
So, what's the solution? Well, this is where green technology comes in. I like to think of it as the tech world's conscience. It's this whole field of innovation focused on one thing: how do we keep all this amazing tech running, but do it sustainably? And the mission here is crystal clear. We're talking about tackling the big stuff, fighting climate change, cutting down on pollution, and making sure we don't just burn through all of our natural resources. It's about a fundamental shift in how we build and power our technology.
And this is the really cool part, where it all comes full circle. See, this isn't about hitting the brakes on technology. Not at all. It's about making it smarter. We can actually use AI to make data centers more efficient, predicting exactly how much power is needed and cutting way, way down on waste. It's tech solving its own problems. So, there you have it. It's this amazing chain reaction, isn't it? We start with a physical building, we connect it to a global network, we add a layer of artificial intelligence, and then we realize that same intelligence could be the key to making the whole system sustainable. Everything is completely interconnected.
Which brings us to one last, really big question for all of us. As all this tech gets woven deeper and deeper into our lives, what's our role in all this? The choices we make every day are going to shape what comes next. So how do we make sure the future we're building is not just intelligent, but also sustainable? Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for joining me.